Cranes Outdoor Power Equipment over in Canaan, Connecticut. 17 cars slated to go 25 laps. Here's your starting grid. Speaking of Canaan, Connecticut native Jay Casey slated to go from the inside front row to 322. Outside of him going to be the number 9 is Shane Henderson. Then it's going to be P.J. Cram in the 03 Junior. He leads the points and the winningest driver in the street stock division, and now dabbling in the pro stocks. He'll come from the inside of row 2. On the outside of row 2 is car number 2. That's Brandon Amy. Kyle Horton, 76, and the 771 of Jimmy Duncan. We'll go side by side in row 3. Row 4 to be the 711 of Rich Crane and the 177 of Chris Stalker. Pete Stefanski and Kim Duell will go side by side in row number 5. Your high point man and the runner-up start side by side. Stefanski into 2 and Duell into 14. That's row 5. Row 6, it'll be Chris Wemple with the 112 and Jackson Ryan with the 04. Row number 7, it'll be Jordan Modiano with the 4M and the 36 of Pete Vila. Then it's Jason Casey in the 324, Caden Domblewski in the 7C. And looking at them all back there in the 28 car, slated to be at the tail, that's the 28 of Phil DeFiglio. Looks like the 4 of Modiano dropping back and trailing the field. So we're going to be ready to go to green. Jay Casey going to bring him down here off of turn number 4 with Shane Henderson right alongside. They worked their way down here off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Up into turn number 3, side by side on the front. P.J. Cram getting awful racy back there from the second row. As they work their way down here on the back straightaway. Now Shane Henderson out front. Here comes P.J. Cram, Jimmy Duncan, and Brandon Amy back there behind them. Richie Crane rounding out your top 5. That's the way your top 5 run here, the early going as they work their way up here off of turn number 2. Side by side now is P.J. Cram going to plug the hole down low. Scrub off a little bit of speed. That allows Shane Henderson to get back by as they make their way down here off of turn number 2. 3 wide off the corner, coming right down the middle. That's Brandon Amy. Amy in the deuce. Trying to get a run there, trying to close the ground. Little wiggle on the inside that time by Cram. P.J. Cram down low, Shane Henderson up high as they work their way up off of turn number 2. Third spot is Brandon Amy. Here comes Jimmy Duncan down to the inside there. Your top point getters right there running nose to tail. Right now it's Duell and Stefanski in that order. They are racing back there just outside the top 5. Currently, Duell rides in 6th, Stefanski in 7th. But they are right there nipping at the heels of your 4th and 5th place runners. Well, here's a bid for the lead. Jimmy Duncan trying to take the top spot away from the number 9 of Shane Henderson. The Henderson Oil and Propane number 9 car. Working up on the outside, Shane Henderson out of Catskill. Bringing him down here off the corner. Now Stefanski has separated himself from Kim Duell. Duell trying to keep pace with Stefanski. He was ahead of him. He was trying to close the gap in the points, but now Stefanski separating himself from him down here. Here's Henderson back up on the outside of Duncan. Duncan going to plug the hole down low, side by side, wheel to wheel. They work their way up here through the corner. Off of turn number 4. Shane Henderson showing the way here up off of turn number 2. Here's Duncan looking at the low line again. Now Stefanski taking a look at the low line on PJ Cram. Stefanski going to get the nose out in front of Cram as they come down here into turn number 1. And the driver out of the Niagara Frontier going to make his way into the 3rd position. There's that battle for the lead going side by side again as they come off of turn number 4. Down to the inside, here is the 771 of Jimmy Duncan. Duncan up on the front, trying to hold off Shane Henderson. Duncan's got a win here in 2025. Henderson does not. Henderson got one a year ago in 2024. Now the 2 cars are going at it. Keep an eye on the pair of 2 cars. A little contact that time as Amy got into the left rear of Stefanski, and now around goes the Amy machine. So that'll bring yellow lights on the raceway, 1 lap shy of the halfway point. Yellow lights coming on around the raceway as Brandon Amy pulling away, looking to rewrite the number 2. He and Pete Stefanski were racing for position. Made a little bit of contact, the left rear corner on the Stefanski machine, and then around went the Amy number 2 car. Here's the contact on the DTD TV instant replay just as they entered turn 3. Then Amy skated down to the inside, and around he went. Stefanski will restart from 3rd. The lead duo, well, they'll start just like they have been racing, side by side up in row number 1. Duncan on the inside and Henderson up on the outside. Then it'll be Stefanski and PJ Cram back there in row 2. Row 3 will be the 14 of Kim Duell and the 711 of Richie Crane. Back to green flag racing down here to turn number 1. As they work their way down the back straightaway up to turn number 3. Now Stefanski going to make a run down to the inside of Henderson. Henderson has lost touch with your leader, Jimmy Duncan. PJ Cram that time trying to apply pressure there on the 2 of Pete Stefanski. Now Cram is going to be left there to try and fend off the challenge of Kim Duell. Duell coming off of back-to-back wins with the 14. They make their run down here into turn number 1. Stefanski nosing ahead of Henderson. That'll put Stefanski in the runner-up position as they make their way down here into turn number 3. Pete Stefanski clearing Shane Henderson. Now Stefanski going to have to try and run down Jimmy Duncan. 10 laps remaining here in this one. 10 laps to go here in our Pro Stock feature event. 25 laps in distance. We got yellow out on the speedway. Yellow lights are on. Looks like debris here on the front straightaway, I believe, is the call. So they dispatched a wrecker down here on the front straightaway. Brandon Amy, the car that went back behind the wall. Well, those at home watching on DTD TV now have got a great view of a praying mantis here in the nature hour here at Albany, Saratoga. Going to be ready to go back to green as they make their way down here off of turn number 4. Green flag. Back underway as they work their way up off of turn number 2. Now Pete Stefanski going to try and take the top spot away from Jimmy Duncan. They roll down here off of turn number 4. Your leader in the turn number 1, Stefanski on the outside will get position. Duncan trying to come back at him down the back straightaway. Up to the corner they come down here on the front straightaway. Now Chris Stalker has cracked the top 5 for the first time. The 177 of Stalker. Winner here 3 weeks ago. It's got Kim Duell right behind him and PJ Cram. They are racing side by side there. Stalker showing into 4th spot. Stalker trying to make an advance on the number 9 of Shane Henderson. Well, Pete Stefanski rolled off a number of victories early in the season. Was involved in a couple of incidents. Car definitely was not performing up to par. Saw a post on social media earlier this week, said they thought they found the problem. Said we'll be back on Friday night. And Pete showing he is a man of his word. Right now, pacing the field down the back straightaway, he has separated himself from Jimmy Duncan. The race 3rd through 5th right together here through turn 3 and 4. As they make their way down here off the corner, your 3rd place man is Shane Henderson. Now Chris Stalker down to the inside of him. Kim Duell outside of Stalker. Duell trying to minimize the damage here as far as the points go. Came in just 4 markers behind Pete Stefanski. Trying to make as few positions between the two as the final laps click off here in tonight's Pro Stock feature event. 2 to go when they come to the line. Pete Stefanski working down here in the turn number 1. Stefanski working down the back straightaway. Had a streak of 3 consecutive feature wins early in the season. Came back and grabbed his 4th. 1 lap away from nailing down win number 5. As Stefanski going to work his way down the back straightaway for the final time. Checkered flag is going to fly. Pete Stefanski will bring him off the corner. Checkered flag and the win. $1,060 will go to Pete Stefanski. That's courtesy of Cranes Outdoor Power Equipment out of Canaan, Connecticut. Stefanski picking up win number 5 on the season. Coming home second will be Jimmy Duncan, the 771. Then it is Shane Henderson in the number 9. He comes home 3rd. Chris Stalker in a 177 finishes 4th. And rounding out your top 5 will be the 14 of Kim Duell. So that is your top 5